Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Connoisseur's Conversation. Today, I want to introduce you guys to a fragrance. And this fragrance comes from my community tabs and several of my social media contacts, where I was posed a question about, specifically, what can I wear in the fall as a gentleman fragrance? And the way the question was posed to me, I was going to offer the gentleman some insight just to go and look at some of my playlists on my channel, the blend list. And I put a few business fragrances on there that are subject to great wear in the fall. But I sat back and I talked to myself and I said, you know what, let me give this gentleman one of the perfect fragrances for fall suiting, fall casual, and fall power. So today we're going to get into that fragrance, and if that sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuances of scent, cigar, and wine. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. As stated, we're going to dive into one of those fragrances. What I got asked and posed a question of from one member specifically, but several members of my subscription base in general, was that they wanted to smell attractive but not sexy. They wanted to smell alluring but not overbearing. And they wanted to smell powerful but not stuffy. And I looked into some of my blend lists, and I wanted to offer that as something that they can go to and prescribe a fragrance to themselves. And then I sat back and I said to myself, you know what, give these gentlemen a specific fragrance that you know works in this specific setting every time in the fall season. Not anything in general that would come off as a four-season scent, but specifically a fall cool weather fragrance that is a powerhouse, but gives the example of what a powerful man should smell like while not being overbearing stuffy. So for me, there was 3 fragrances in this category, and 2 of them I've touched base on, and one specifically I know I have not, and that's the one I want to give you guys. So first off, I'm going to show you those 2 fragrances first that I have touched on that give an example of what the powerful Fougere aromatic should smell like in the fall. The first up is being Masculine Pluriel by the house of Mason Francis Kirkjohn. This is a leathery, smooth lavender based fragrance that is a very just superbly made, just spectacularly compounded composition by the house of Mason Francis Kirkjohn. As I stated, leathery, it's aromatic from sage and lavender, but it also has some creamy touches to it that lends itself to being a non-stuffy, you're not a closeted individual. You feel elegant, you feel outgoing, but you feel powerful, and you feel like a leader when you wear this particular scent. And that is Mason Francis Kirkjohn Masculine Pluriel. That is one example. The second example of what I want to show you is the House of Penhaligon's Sartorial. Now this is my second bottle of Sartorial. This was a scent that I ran through, I went through crazy spraying of this particular scent. Went through a whole bottle. And after wearing this particular scent, I have put things in my collection that have kind of taken its place. And so as a collector piece, you want this in your arsenal for business, professional settings, and leadership settings when you go out into the town and you go out into meetings and you perform your duties as a leader in any commerce type of setting. This is a great scent based off of, again, aromatics, sweet aromatics. It has a metallic accord to it, also a honey accord to it. And this is supposed to represent the best of what Savile Row has to give, and that is a business attire and suiting and setting. So again, the second one that I would subscribe to you if you want to have this aura about yourself is Sartorial from Penhaligon's. Now the third fragrance and the final fragrance in this particular setting, and what I wanted to give a connoisseur's conversation about, is a fragrance from the house of Tom Ford. And Tom Ford made a fragrance that not many people talk about, and that specifically is why I want to bring this to the fore as a scent of power, masculinity, and business sense. This is Fougère Platine. And Fougère Platine is a scent done in collaboration with 2 perfumers in 2018 when it was released, Linda Song and Olivia Guiton. And for me, this particular scent is one that needs not to be so much, I would not say that this is a scent that has to be touched on, because what it does is a very specific task. This is a fragrance that has the potential to employ an individual as a leader. The way that this fragrance is made, it comes together with an opening of aromatic, just effervescence. This is a scent based on very, very wonderful, spectacular, and exciting notes that go into a aromatic fougere while not making it a super clean or effervescent fragrance that is for summer settings. This is very specific to fall, very specific to cooler weather. I wouldn't even take this. This would be for me, and is for me, a fragrance from August to November, early December. This is, to me, it can go into the winter time, but to me, the specific notes and the chords of this make this so perfect and just deliberate for the fall and autumn weather as a fougere. You cannot beat it. So the way it opens is it comes with the aromatic burst. It has a basil accord, which comes off slightly minty, and the aromatic sage and the aromatic lavender with a slight hint of bergamot. Those are the notes that come so quickly to the skin and so quickly to the nose. As always, you know, these flacons, the aromatic or the power and the pressure from these, man, automizers are perfect on Tom Fords. That's just let's talk about how the flacon looks. You know about that. And then, so getting back into the scent, let's not go too far off into the weeds with it. Let me give you exactly what this thing does. You open with that aromatic touch, and then you quickly get the bergamot wiped off the slate. The bergamot opens and give you a liveliness. A good composition always has that bergamot, especially for gentlemen. It then goes into one of the stages at about 20 minutes, 15-minute marks. And that stage implores everything you want about fall. It has the Divana / Artemisia. It has honey, sesame, and labdanum. The way that the heart of this particular fragrance comes off, it does not tell you at all or give it away that this is a fougere fragrance. It comes off almost like a resinous, spicy resinous fragrance from the way that mid reads, almost oriental. But it never strays away from the actual presentation of giving you a clean feel, power feel as a fougere. The lavender and sage are embedded in this fragrance from heart, head to base, and it becomes one of the most attractive yet magnificent fragrances for bringing you across as a business-minded individual, as someone who is attractive, someone who is approachable, and someone who can be talked to and give advice to and get advice from. And when you're in leadership positions, that is one thing about being a leader. You want to employ people. You want to give people the sense that you are a person that can lead them, give them advice, take advice from them, and then take that advice given or gotten and use it to the best potential for you and your colleagues. The way that this comes across, that Artemisia / Divana is one of the smoothest particular presences of this particular scent, along with that honey. And if you watch my channel, you will note that in one of the previous conversations I had with you guys, I talked about the Divana and honey mix that came with Voyage of Paris, which was a fragrance du bois. And the reason I think I did not correlate that particular fragrance to a gourmand is because the note structure kind of gave away to me some things that did not lean gourmand leaning. And that is one of the things I pick up in this, that I was trying to conjure things in my head, like where did I smell, how have I smelled this? And that's one particular essence of that scent that I have smelled in this particular scent. And so it tells you right there how the arc of this fragrance is not just for a simple person or a simple mind. This is one that explores the artistry of fragrance. This explores the artistry of the perfumers while giving you the fougere that you want for the fall. So it's nothing that's going to be as layman. You're not going to have this fragrance in every particular corner. This is not one. This is not your Elysiums. This is not your Scandal. This is not any of the typical aromatic fougeres that are on the market right now. This is very much so leaning toward the artistic part of the genre. What then comes in the base of this is the spectacular note that I want everybody to pay attention to in this particular fragrance, and that is the note of tobacco. I had never, until this point of having this fragrance in my collection, gotten my nose on a fragrance that employed the tobacco essence in a fougere. And the way that they did this particular scent is one that is phenomenal. When I say they used an authentic tobacco note, not a Tom Ford tobacco vanille sweet tobacco, nothing cinnamony, nothing overly sweetened. This is authentic, off the leaf, ripened, aged, hanging in the barn, getting the just everything. If you are a cigar smoker, you will know the essence in which I'm talking about. It's that earthy texture, robust. It feels, smells, and attracts as a leadership position, leadership role. And that's one of those things about cigars. And I can go into the weeds about that one, but I won't. I will just tell you that right now, the way that this particular scent is built, Fougère Platine is an amazing, amazing fall fougere fragrance that I think every man who is in position of leadership and wants to aspire to be in position of leadership should dive into and get. Now, this is a very mature scent. And when I say mature, I don't mean age-wise. I mean the way you carry yourself. So if you're 25 and up, I would say 21-ish. It is a bit more mature or sophisticated for the 21-year-old. This is not something that you will want in your arsenal. But 25-year-old, just out of your college schooling, going into business, going into either secondary education or going into business for yourself, this is a great fragrance to apply to your skin on a daily basis in fall, sometimes the warmer weather of the winter time, but mostly fall weather. And you will not be disappointed, and you will receive not only compliments, but it is a conveyance and conduit to know you are a person in leadership positions, and great for that. Nothing juvenile, nothing tired. This is a great fragrance that has its own chord structure and artistry to it that you will not be looked at like it's not a great scent. As stated again, the top notes are aromatic that stay throughout the fragrance. That is sage, lavender with a slight hint of bergamot and mint. Gives it a nice gentleman, sophisticated, mature, and alluring is what I would label this fragrance in adjectives. And that's what you want in this particular scent. The mid goes into, like I said, the leathery softness of the lavender with a honey and artemisia / divana sweet accords, slightly herbaceous. Then you go into the base with that that tobacco note that makes it so robust and alluring, while giving you the essence of a leadership position and a man of honor as well. So all in all, Tom Ford's Fougère Platine. Of course, that's the flacon. I also have the box here, and you guys have seen this box many of times, so it really wasn't needed for me to bring out. But just in case, you have the rectangular pedestal box. Something cool, something Tom Ford has been with since the private blend was interjected into our lives. So nothing different about that, but that is the box for Fougère Platine. And that is my conversation for today with you guys. I gave you Fougère Platine. I gave you Penhaligon's Sartorial. And I gave you the Masculine Pluriel by the House of Mason Francis Kirkjohn. 3 of the best fall fougere fragrances that you can put on your skin in the fall season that you will not go wrong with if you're looking for something in that specific genre of fragrances. I hope that I answered your question. The guy that's been tapping in with me to figure out what that was, he could wear. These are 3 great ones. I hope that anyone else looking for these particular types of fragrances got some education and entertaining from this. If you did, all I ask that you guys do is subscribe to this channel to get more of this great content when I talk about scents, cigars, and wines. I have some unboxings coming up for some particular items that I want you guys to see coming in the future, hopefully this week, and I hope that you guys got something from that. Until next time and until next video, you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you then. Peace.